Good. And now let's make this bad boy live, which is always fun.
Hmm.
Live stream here. Yeah, well, that's why I was asking Rose about the PC requirements because that PC is on its way out, and I just been using it as a recorder. But
Yeah. No, Jeremy was like, as soon as you guys get done, let me know. And if he's available for a call, I'll just call him. And I was like, okay, perfect.
all right, looks like we should be. Nope, not yet. One more button. All right, now we are live. All right, sorry for the delay for anyone who was waiting. Computer problems, that's always fun. So I want to introduce myself first. I'm Jeremy Chimbert. I'm the owner and practitioner at Pacific Northwest Shamanic Healing. With me today as a co-host, I have Jessica Spangler, who's going to teach us all about the emotion code. And I'll let you get into that in just a second, but I also want to go ahead and introduce Rose Aquilla, who's here to be demonstrated on. So, Jessica, why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited. Um, so I am a mom of a little manifestor design child, and I'm also a wife. I stay at home, I work from home. This business was basically created by not an accident because we don't believe in accidents, but the universe kind of handed me this business. Um, I did the podcast a couple weeks ago and we talked about the emotion code and the human design. And so emotion code for me has really it's peeled a lot of layers, both for myself and people in my life. Um, so those of you who don't know, emotion code, when the body experiences an emotion, um, and it's not ready to process it, it will take in and trap it in an energy-sized bubble somewhere in your meridian lines. Now, your meridian lines are basically your energy channels inside of your body. If you have disruption in those energy channels, then your body can go in disarray. It can cause sadness, it can cause frustration, it can cause pain, it can cause so many, many, many different things. Um, and so what we do is we use a thing called muscle testing. And so muscle testing is your body's ability to tell you yes or no while staying out of your head. And so your body knows true from false. And so you basically tap into your subconscious with the muscle testing. You ask your body yes or no. So we're going to use that. I have a chart here. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it too well. But this is the emotion code chart. And you'll see the different columns and you'll see different rows. Those rows can be associated with certain organs. A lot of times, so body parts actually store emotions. So typically, like liver, anger resides in the liver a lot. Um, Kidneys, I believe, is fear, lungs is grief. And so a lot of times we'll come up with, while we're testing, we'll find, you have a lot in that four row, and that's liver and gallbladder. That may or may not resonate with you, and that's totally fine. Doesn't necessarily mean that's where that emotion is hanging out either. Um, it's just like a common place for them to hang out. So we use the muscle testing, and we figure out what type of emotion that it is. So there's 5 different types of emotions. There's a common emotion. So common emotion is trapped by you during this lifetime. Shared emotion is actually when you and somebody else around you is experiencing the exact same emotion at the exact same time, and one or both of you will trap that emotion. Preconception emotion is actually an emotion that your soul's level has experienced. So who knows which lifetime that it came from, but that's where those ones come from. Absorbed is experience it from somebody else. So if you're helping a friend through a grief, um, even if it's not yours, it didn't mean anything to you, you can actually trap that grief while just being next to them because if your body's not ready to process that with them. Prenatal is trapped during pregnancy. Typically, we see them come from third trimester, but not always. And so that's basically going to be something that your mom experienced or you experienced in womb, either one. And so then you trap that emotion. And then we have inherited emotions. So inherited, we will be from prior generations. So typically when we find an inherited emotion, I will pinpoint maternal or paternal, mother, father, and which level. I have found trapped emotions that went back like 18 generations. When we clear those inherited emotions, we actually are clearing it from all generations forward and back. So emotion code cannot be done on anybody without their permission. The only exception is the inherited emotions. Inherited emotions, we just clear front and back, forward and backwards, all generations is cleared. So that can be your great great grandchild from now will no longer be able to inherit that. So we clear that. So that's about the only time you can do emotion code on anybody who's not asking for it, basically. Um, so the emotion code is not a promise. And so I have used emotion code to clear pain myself. I have used emotion code to clear sadness. I try to veer away from like labeling. Like we're not going to clear depression because depression can be so many different things, mind, body, physical. Um, but we can clear sadness. We can clear frustration. We can clear some of the things that may lead to depression. Same with anxiety. We label it as anxiousness. You know, if you want to work on anxiety, perfect. We're going to actually work on the anxious feeling that you feel inside. Um, Emotion code is never a promise. Like I said, we can absolutely focus on a pain that you have. I myself have done neck and hip pain, and it worked great because those pains were emotionally rooted. Not necessarily our pains all emotionally rooted. So I just want to make sure that, you know, everybody understands like we can focus on that. And what we actually do when we start the session is we figure out, is there a trapped emotion leading towards that? So when we go into a session, I always ask, you know, is there something you want to focus on? Yes or no? If yes, cool, let's figure that out. We muscle test, is there a trapped emotion for that? And if not, okay, what else comes up? But if you have no idea, those are some of my funnest sessions because we just call them general release. We just ask your subconscious to show us what it's ready to get rid of. So, so there's those two. So you have emotion code, and then you have the next layer. Next layer is going to be heart wall. So just as an umbrella will protect you in the rain, a heart wall actually protects your heart from more pain, anxiety, misery, whatever you want to, you know, to claim. Um, and so it will literally take all of the trapped emotions that it can, and it builds a literal energetic wall around your heart. So those sessions, they tend to take, we need more of those sessions to completely clear a heart wall. Emotion code, we can clear up to 10 emotions in one setting. We never go past 10 because that's like kind of like the body's limit. Whereas the heart wall, like sometimes we only get one or two. And then you may have a longer processing time. So processing time I'll go into in just a second. But then those heart wall sessions, you need quite a few. I think I've had two people in the year that I've been doing this. I was able to clear their heart wall in one session, and it was like amazing. But we did full 10, like it was amazing. Like they were ready to let go of that. Most people aren't. And so it's not uncommon to only release one, two, or three emotions for each heart wall session. Um, and so, like, when I'm booking those, like, the package is up to 3 sessions because typically it takes about, up to 3. If we need more than that, then we, do some muscle testing, figure out from there, like, about how many we think we'll need. And then we kind of figure that out. But when you book like a heart wall session, you're basically paying for up to 3. If we clear it in 1 or 2, it's that same price. So processing time. So at the end of every session, we go through and we figure out your processing time. So when we release an emotion, that emotion is gone. However, the body and the subconscious mind may need some extra residual time, so a little more self-care, little love, to get rid of the energy remnants, basically, of that emotion that's left. So at the end of every session, I always figure out a processing time. During this time, I will give certain suggestions, kind of whatever comes to intuition as we're going through it. But it's usually a lot of grounding, a lot of salt baths, drinking lots of water. The body is energy. Energy runs with water. And so when we're going through the session, you will see I always have both myself something to drink and the person that I'm working on to have something to drink, because that's going to help the energy flow out a lot better. So, how do we do this over Zoom? That's like one of my first questions always. Like, how are you going to connect to me? So energy is everywhere. And so with the energetic intention, I will connect to Rose and I will show you via muscle testing that I am connected to her. And then basically my body becomes her body. And so when we're going through, the muscle testing is going to be her body, just energetically. When we're doing the release, same thing. It is not uncommon for the person I'm working on to feel what I'm doing. So when we do the release, I use magnetic energy. Sometimes I just use a refrigerated magnet. Sometimes I just use my hands because we are energetic and magnetic also. Today I have a piece of magnetic hematite that I'll be just holding in my hand. Once we figure out what the emotion is, what type it is, if we need any more information, then I run this magnet over my governing meridian. Now, governing meridian goes through your whole body, but we do just the beginning to the back of the neck, and that's going to coat that whole governing meridian through your whole body. So for most of the different types, we do just 3 swipes. However, preconception and inherited are a lot deeper rooted, and so we do 10 swipes. You will notice sometimes there is yawning. Happens a lot, especially with the preconception or the inherited on my side. Yawning is a way of energy release, goosebumps, nausea. All of these things are common for an emotion code session. And so we go through and we figure out and we go until your body's done. If we hit, if there's a thing, let's say Rose wants to work on pain, but also some sadness. I just make a side note of that. And if we hit a point where like body's done with pain, then I'll ask at that point, is there an emotion we can release for the sadness? Yes or no? And then if so, we keep going until we hit 10. We never go past 10. So that's kind of what a typical emotion code session looks like. They're really short, usually, like we can just fly through them, 20 to 30 minutes. There may be times where the subconscious is going to need just a little more information to pull it out just a little bit further. And so you will hear me use age. I always start at age and we kind of pinpoint an age. when we get the age, it is usually within a year range. So if we say 21, it's actually like 20 to 22. Sometimes we will need a little further. And so then, at that point, I just asked, does anything come up? The fun part about emotion code is you don't really have to dig that stuff up. You don't have to talk about it. You just allow your subconscious to bring it up. And so if I say, does rejection at 21 mean anything to you? You can just say yes. You can just say no. You don't have to share with me what you're feeling. It's enough to just bring it out. And then we go from there. And I just make sure that it's safe to go ahead and release that. So, um, yeah, so I think that's kind of like what an emotion code session kind of looks like. Like I said, they're super quick because we kind of fly through it. But they're super effective. I've noticed a huge shift. So,
When I just had some quick questions too, going
yes,
over
please.
what you were talking about. So the body stores the emotions. Would you consider, I guess that like how much trauma or is there trauma involved to have these emotions stored? Because you mentioned having your friend who's grieving and you're just taking on that grief. So could you technically just have a bunch of emotions at any time that are just stored for even the minor things that you would consider minor versus something major like a car accident or a gunfight or getting robbed, those kind of things.
I'm so glad you asked that. Yes, absolutely. So there doesn't have to be trauma. It can be you walking down the aisle in the grocery store and you turn the corner and somebody was there and it scared you. Fear, bam, trapped. It doesn't have to be something big. It doesn't have to be something traumatic. It can just be everyday life things. Watching a scary movie. Um, those little things like yes. So thank you for asking that because absolutely
And
you can
and then
trap it.
those things would just compound over the years and then start causing the problems.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends. It really just depends on your body. As far as the heart wall goes, yes, it can be built of little things also. Um, but it could be, I mean, grocery store run-in fear can actually cause hip pain or, whatever. Like that's a great example. But um, because it's still just a block in your energy channel. So not necessarily do we need five or six trapped emotions stuck in the same place to be able to feel something. You're blocking your energy channels. And so you can have a big blockage that then leads to something, or you can have one little blockage. Um, it just kind of depends on how your body is reacting to those blockages.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. It's similar in the shamanic realm too, of we're just
Mhm.
clearing blockages and allowing our own energy to flow. And I do like what you mentioned is not all your problems could be the cause of one thing. So it's not all emotional when you're looking at it from this point of view. Just like I like to tell people, it's not all mental, it's not all shamanic or spirit. There's many different layers and facets to your issues, and it's good that you don't treat everything one way. You're looking at it more than just being that hammer, seeing everything being a nail.
Yep, absolutely.
Rose, did you have any questions before we start? Since this would be
No.
on you.
No questions. Actually, I mean, everything that I would have asked has just got totally addressed. So really, I'm just excited to kind of buckle up and go, okay, this sounds amazing.
And then I guess going back to the heart wall though, so you're just kind of the way you describe it's kind of like a shield around the heart to kind of stop you from feeling emotions, or
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to a point. So people with a heart wall can tend to be, not always, but can tend to be kind of shut down. Not living life to the fullest, not loving life every day. Um, just kind of, just kind of dampered down. Like that's why I like to compare it to like the umbrella with the rain. Most people don't like rain. You're just kind of blah on those days. Like, you don't really know what's going on. You're not really like enjoying your day. You're just kind of getting through it. That's what it's like to have a heart wall.
And last question before I'll let you get going on this one
Yeah.
is when you're doing multiple sessions on a client, do you, I think you kind of touched on it, but the rest period in between, do you need to have them take like a week off in between sessions, or is it potentially could be back to back? How does it usually work?
Yep, so that's that processing time. So typical is like 1 to 3 days. I have had a few come up longer. I have had a few come up like 4 hours. And if that's the case, cool. You want to do another one in 4 hours, let's do it. So that's what that processing time kind of gives us is that timeline of when not only when do you love your body the more, give that extra love, but also like when can we dig deeper?
Okay, interesting. Well, that's all I have. So without further ado, I'm gonna go mute and let y'all work.
Perfect. Okay. All right, Rose. So I've got your age. You gave me that, so we may need that. Curious if anything's coming up that you would like to work on.
No, after listening to everything, I kind of agreed the same thing. As a healing arts practitioner too, it's like you can tell me what you think you want to clear, but let's ask your body what it wants to clear. So I have some ideas of some things, but honestly, just kind of what more resonated was just being like, I want to kind of get out of my own way and turn it over and just be like, okay, subconscious, what needs to go, what no longer serves.
I love that. I love that so much. I'm excited for that. Okay. So let's see. Let's see what comes up. Just gonna make some notes here. During my sessions, I do make notes for you of what we've released. I always send that over in case you ever, like if you want to look back at it, once we've released it, it's gone. But some people like to like go back. I've had people want to burn it. Um, you know, whatever feels right to you. So um, I do provide that for you, and so I'll get your information after so I can send that for you. But the reason I do that is because I want you here. I don't want you over here trying to be like, oh, I want to remember that I released that. I want you here. So I will take your notes. You just be. If it feels like you're moving, like you feel some shifts, you feel some moving, take a drink. That's going to help that move a little faster. There will be times like if it feels intense on my side, I'll tell you, go ahead and take a drink on that. There may be times we take some deep breaths. I just kind of feel what my body feels, and then I just lead you. Okay. So when I do muscle testing, I use the ring pull method. I also sometimes use copper dowsing rods. I typically use the copper dowsing rods with kids because the kids like to see, right? They're very visual. They can be like, nah, she's breaking her fingers. But you can't with those. Have you ever seen the copper dowsing
Oh,
rod? Yes. So with you, if you're comfortable with it, we're just gonna do the ring pull method. I will kind of show on camera, but then you'll see my hands kind of drop and I'll be down here working because it's just awkward to like hold them up here the whole time,
sure,
you know.
sure.
But I just want to show people like so for ring pull, you're going to resist. And so I am Jessica. This is strong. I am Tom. This breaks. And so now I would like to energetically connect to you. May I have your permission to do that?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Perfect. And so now I am Rose. I am Rose. I am Jessica. Perfect. So we are connected. So let's see what comes up. All right. So is there a trapped emotion that we can release for Rose today? Yes. Is it a common emotion, shared emotion, preconception, absorbed, prenatal, inherited? So this one's inherited. Column A, B, this one's B. Odd row, no, so 2, 4, 6. Is it pride? Is it shame? Shock? Unworthy? Worthless. So this one's worthless. All right, so is it maternal side? Yes, so mom's side. And how many generations back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 generations back on your mom's side. we have worthless. Is there more that we need to know about worthless? Nope. So we're going to go ahead and release this one. So I'll run this 10 times over my meridian. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. All right, and then we just like to check, have we successfully released worthless? Yes, so that's strong. So that one's gone. All right. Is there another trapped emotion we can release for Rose today? Yes. Common, shared, preconception, absorbed, prenatal. So this one's prenatal. Column A, B, on row 2, 4, 6, pride, shame, shock, unworthy, worthless. So we also have worthless prenatal. So first trimester, second trimester. So this one was second trimester. There more that we need to know about worthless? No. Okay, so we're good there. So we'll release this one. 1, 2, and 3. All right, and I'm gonna have you go ahead and take a drink for me. I feel like that one might have resonated a little bit.
Yeah, and I know Jeremy knows me. If you listen to my podcast interview, everybody just kind of went, "Woo, girl!"
Oh, I'm gonna have to go listen to your podcast interview now.
Yeah, that one hit like a freight train. That was amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so is there another trapped emotion that we can release for Rose? Yes. Common, shared, preconception. So this one's preconception. So if you remember, that's soul's level. Column A, B, odd row. So 2, 4, 6, pride, shame, shock, unworthy, worthless. Let's clear all of that worthless from you, girl. Just so you have it in case you want the information. That B6 that we keep hitting is glands or sexual organs. So don't know if that resonates or not, but
Listen to my podcast interview. I'm gonna drink some more water now.
okay. All right. I'm excited to go
Woo.
listen to that now. See what I'll be doing after this. All right, let's see. Is there more information we need about worthless? Nope. So we're gonna release that one too. 1, 2, 3. This one's 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Right? Have we successfully released worthless? Yes. All right. Is there another trapped emotion we can release for Rose? Yes. Common, shared, preconception, absorbed. So this one's absorbed. So that one's just being nearby somebody. Column A, yes. Odd row, no. So 2, 4, anger, bitterness, guilt, hatred, resentment. So somebody else around you had resentment that you trapped. Is there more that we need to know about resentment? Nope. So we'll release that one. 1, 2, and 3. All right, have we successfully released resentment? Yes. All right, is there another trapped emotion we can release for Rose? Yes. Common, shared, preconception, absorbed, prenatal, inherited. This one's inherited again. Column A, yes. Odd row, no. 2, 4, 6. Humiliation, jealousy, longing, lust. So this one is lust. And if we ever come across an emotion that you're like, I'm not quite sure what that means, just holler at me and I can get you the definition because sometimes that helps like the subconscious get a little better. So let's figure out maternal. So mom's side again. How many generations? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 generations on that one. Is there more that we need to know about lust? Nope. So we're going to release this one too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So go ahead and take a drink on that one.
Mhm.
Have we successfully released lust? Yes. Is there another trapped emotion we can release for Rose today? Yes. Common, shared, preconception, absorbed, prenatal, inherited, and your body is ready to get rid of this crap.
Yeah,
I love
totally.
it. Column A, B, yes. Odd row, no. 2, 4, 6. Back to that B6. Pride, shame, shock. So this one's shock. Maternal, mom's side again. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 generations on this one. Is there more that we need to know about shock? Nope, so we'll release this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Have we successfully cleared shock? Yes. That's interesting. My right arm just went numb. All right. Is there another trapped emotion we can release for Rose? Yes. Common, shared, preconception. So preconception. Column A, B, odd row, 2, 4, 6. Pride, shame, shock, unworthy. So this one's unworthy. Is there more that we need to know about unworthy? Nope. So we'll release this one. This one's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Have we successfully released unworthy? Yes. Is there another trapped emotion we can release for Rose today? Yes. Common, shared, preconception, absorbed, prenatal, inherited, back to inherited. Column A, B, odd row, no, 2, failure, helplessness, hopelessness, lack of control, low self-esteem. So this one's low self-esteem. Maternal, no, so dad's side this time. Paternal, yep. 1 generation, 2 generation, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 7 generations. Is there more that we need to know about low self-esteem? Nope. So we can release that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Go ahead and take a drink for me. And I want you to take a big deep breath and kind of drop your shoulders.
One of my sage smudges just spontaneously lit. I'm not kidding, my altar's behind me. And
That's
I was burning incense before, but now one of my sage smudges just took off. And I'm
it's
like,
like, let me help you.
woo! Hello! Hi, Dad! I have a picture of my dad on my altar too. So I was just kind of like, oh, hello! The
Oh,
little
that's
Cherokee
amazing.
Nation just popped in to say hey. So,
Oh, that gave
yeah,
me goosebumps. That's
I know.
amazing. So
I'm
cool.
like,
Thank you.
wow, the generations are like, yes, girl, thank
Right.
you.
It is about time somebody did something for us.
Yes, that was I had to tell you. I was like, what? That's why I'm like my shoulders kind of came up like, what? Whoa, hi.
That's amazing. Thank you
That
for
was so
sharing. That's very
cool.
cool. All right, let's see if we can keep going. Is there another trapped emotion we can release for Rose? No, no, that was a good finale. All right, so let's look at processing time. Does she need more than 1 day? Yes. 2 days? Yes. 3 days? No. So 2 days. Yep. So your processing time is 2 days. So during this time, um, extra grounding. If you can get outside barefoot as much as possible. I don't know where the weather's like where you are. It's like 90 here, so
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, it is. It's not that here, but
no.
it's okay.
Even if it's just for a couple minutes, if
Mhm.
not, go outside and put your back against a tree, and
Yeah.
that will help with the grounding. A salt bath, if you can do a salt bath, um, whatever salt of your preference. I like Redmond's real salt or Epsom salt, but kind of
Mhm.
whatever feels good for you. It wouldn't hurt to do both one today and tomorrow. That'll kind of help clear out that extra energy. Drink extra water, or anything hydrating. So you can do coconut water if there's like an infusion blend. That's kind of what I'm drinking. It's like a tea infusion. That's good with minerals and stuff. And so that'll help with the hydration. Over those 2 days, you may not experience anything. You may experience all of this again. It's like, again, just that residual energy just trying to get out. What we released is gone. Now it's just the energy remnants that we have to get rid of. Saging would be great. One or both days, both house and self. Um, and just kind of give yourself some extra love and let things flow. Let it happen. Let you feel what you feel. Um, Journaling is really good during that time to just kind of help get the rest of that out. Okay.
Mhm.
Questions for me?
No, again, I think this is a really, really, really good demonstration of the power of this. Like I said, Jeremy knows me really well, um, in real life podcast, everything. And we've worked together, and then, like I said, and again, just for anybody watching this, Jessica has not listened to my podcast interview. She doesn't know anything about me. We've never met. So anybody who has met me, who knows me, has listened to the interview. When you watch this, you're gonna go, holy crap. Like that's what I was like, if you ever needed some kind of proof, yeah, that was intense, that was amazing. And it was so very good and so cool. And my big mission is really working with trauma, and I believe in so much of that talk therapy doesn't work, and making somebody sit and talk through it and relive their stuff is counterproductive, is harmful, and so this modality is incredible um for that purpose. So because if we can remove that somatic imprint in the body and the energetic imprint in the body, we can facilitate the body becoming more of that safe space. When you feel safe, when you feel empowered, when you feel embodied, then you can start your healing process. You can then speak about your stuff. So yeah, this is so rad. This is so very rad. And once I agreed to do this, like I hadn't been keeping up on Jeremy's podcast alone, so I had not also listened to yours either. So we both came into this blind, not knowing anything about one another or the modality or anything. So yeah, I'm so excited and I can't wait to refer so many people to you because I'm just like, oh, woo! Also, it's really cool. A lot of my work is with horses as well, and so really having like the subconscious doesn't lie, horses don't lie either. So yeah, it's really fun to work with something like this. And muscle testing, of course, because that's the same thing as the horses can't tell me exactly what's going on. We talk on a different plane, but when I have to then share that and relate that to the owner, I have to do and employ something like muscle testing to demonstrate. So I was like, everything that you're doing, I'm like, yes, I get this. This is incredible. This is so cool. And yeah, I can't wait to share this with so many people.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it, and I'm actually really glad that you brought up horses, because a lot of people don't realize like animals have emotions. They think there's just these creatures that do what we tell them to or go or whatever, and they have emotions. Um, I had a cat who had a urinary blockage, and we had tried all the things. We tried the diet food, we tried it all. And he would just continue, like he would get these urinary infections over and over and over. Nothing would work. Just kind of like dissipate, whatever. Sometimes it'd end up in a blockage. I think he had kidney stone removed. He had two different blockages.
Hmm.
Actually ended up losing him to another blockage. But one of the most like oh my God moments for me with motion code was him. He had a blockage. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. I had very little tools on hand. We were out of everything. We had kind of done, like, we've kind of ventured away from most vets because they just want to give you like medication and tell you to give him this certain food that doesn't work anyways. And so I didn't have a vet to take him to. Um, and I reached out to the group that I'm part of. It's called Fiercely Empowered Mama. And one of the girls was like, emotion code him. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think of that. Like,
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And I actually cleared his urinary blockage. He was able to pee within 30 minutes of doing an emotion code session. So it's good for everybody. It's good for kids. It's good for people.
Yeah.
I mean, animals, a lot of people have used it on like elderly who are not like they can't tell you what they're feeling. They can't tell you what they want. The only stipulation is you have to be the one that makes the medical decisions. So if you're taking care of your grandma and you make care of her, then you can do a motion code for her.
Right.
Same for kids. And so, yeah, so that's why I love it. And it's non-invasive. You don't have to give information. And I agree with the talk therapy. I mean, it has its times and places, but
Yeah.
so many times it's not what people need because it's not doing, it's not getting rid of the stuff. It's just bringing it back up again and figuring out, okay, now where do I approach this way? So, I love that you brought that up and I love that you're excited. And
Yeah.
absolutely, can you refer people to me? My website is on the posts and stuff, but it's nurturingchildinsight.com. And on there, you can book both Heartwall or regular sessions. I do have packages. I haven't got them up there yet, but I'm working on getting that up probably in the next week or two. Where if you want to do 3 or 6, you want to do 3 or 6 sessions, we can do a package situation. The other thing that I'm really flexible on is I open like limited availability. And so, like, when you go to my calendar, there's like 2 or 3 days a week, but I'm totally flexible. And so, for anybody who's watching this, like, if there's a day or time that doesn't work for you, don't let that hold you back because you can message me privately. You can do it through the website, you can do it through Facebook here, and just say, hey, my only day is Tuesday mornings. And I can easily make that work. I have like childcare lined up a certain time, and then I just shift it. So don't let it hold you back if you want to try this, and you don't see a schedule that works for you on my website.
Yeah.
And I would say everybody should try it at least once. I know my wife did it with you, and she's feeling a lot better now as well. So yeah, and it's a good thing you mentioned the website because Facebook at some point will delete this, but there will be a recording, and I'll try to make sure the links and everything are with wherever the recording goes as well.
Okay.
And I did put the link to the podcast in the comments section, just for the general page on the YouTube. So if anyone's interested in listening to Jessica's or Rose's podcast, just scroll through until you find their name, click it, listen, enjoy. Uh, but for future sake, the podcast is the Shaman Stories podcast. So in case the show notes disappear on this one.
Yeah, I just again to reiterate it again is like if anybody doesn't believe like I pinky swear promise on my horse's life I did not we nobody knew anybody prior to this moment. This was like the most incredible flex. I kept watching Jeremy's face during everything that you're bringing up and I'm just like because you know so much like exactly what was going on but like this is like I want to say it's spooky because I don't believe in spooky. I'm just like, oh, this is like perfect. So perfect.
And I can say on my side, I talked to Jessica going, hey, let's do a quick live about emotion code. She's like, cool, I'm in. I'm like, all right, now let me reach out to my group, see who wants to come in. Now we had one other person before Rose. She couldn't make the timing work, so Rose got in. That's how they met literally 2 minutes before we went live. That's
I
because my
didn't even know
computer
her
wasn't
name.
working. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I know. It was so crazy. It was like, oh man, whoa. It's almost as if you had researched me thoroughly, and yeah, it's that was like knocking my little socks off. I've only had a handful of people I've worked with that have been like that, just like, and boom. I'm like, holy cats.
Mic
Like
drop.
total mic drop. Total mic drop. It's really, really incredible. Like, I mean, I had the goose pimples and the sweaty palms and and Jeremy knows me really well. I'm like super ADHD and I usually fidget and I was just like riveted. I felt like a statue. I'm like, whoa, this is incredible. So yeah, super, super rad. I just total socks knocked off. I feel amazing too. Like I feel so much better because I have been working and doing a lot of clearing of my own, and I've been taking on a new level of client as well. So I'm having to do a lot more clearing and deepening. So I was like, "Wow, oh, this is perfect." And I feel like all of the ancestors are just kind of like, "Yeah, thank you. Look at all the space we freed up for you to do more good in the world now.
Yeah,
This is incredible. So incredible. Thank you so much."
absolutely. You're welcome. Yeah, I mean, not one of those 8 emotions we released was yours. Not one.
Yeah, I'm kind of a little sponjo like that. So yeah. That's like I feel like that's that wounded healer's journey too that happens a little bit, which I had just talked about in a group session with Jeremy this past weekend too. So really cool.
Well,
Nice.
I'm very glad it was so impactful for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you for volunteering.
Oh, it wasn't. I didn't volunteer. I was like voluntold. That is to say, there was a compelling force. Like I saw the message and immediately was like, apparently this is something I need to do. So I was like, yeah, me, absolutely, yeah. And I'm just like, I have no idea what this is, but yeah, sure, count me in. I'm in. Apparently somebody feels I need to do this. So
perfect. So yeah, I want to thank you both for being here and for everybody watching. I do want to say I want to try to make this a regular thing with different modalities. So like once a month, have someone come on, kind of show what they do, how they do it, demonstrate it if they want to. So if you are someone who has your own form of healing and you want to show it off, bring it into the world, hit me up, let me know, and then we can bring you on. And I just want to make this a regular thing to show people what's out there. Because not everyone's heard of the emotion code. Not everyone's heard of, I think everyone's heard of Reiki at this point, but not many people have heard of things like alchemical healing or quantum touch and emotion code. And they all have their places and they're all very good. And so you don't want to discourage anyone from trying it out and doing it.
I agree. I love that.
yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you for creating the space in the container.
All right, thank you both. I'm going to try to end this thing now. Let's see.